Hey guys, it's Jeanette, and I'm going to talk to you guys about completing my first year of grad school. Yay! So the degree program that I am in, it's a public history program. It's 2 years, so one down, one more to go. I'm just going to have a general conversation with you guys. It's not going to be like super informative talk, such as like, you're going to need these materials and this is exactly what we did. I can make another video like that if you guys would like, and you can comment down below. I also apologize for the lawnmower that is over to my left. He just happened to be here and I've been walking around all day, so I'm sitting down and I'm gonna film this video here. So, talking from the beginning, I think I'm gonna talk about my anticipations for the degree and what actually happened. So I knew that there was going to be a lot of reading, and I knew that there was going to be a lot of writing. I was a history major in undergrad, so I did a lot of reading, did a lot of writing. But when I tell you the ante was upped, and it was definitely an increased amount of reading and writing. And having taken a gap year in between my undergrad to master careers, that was, it was a bit of a shock. But I eventually adapted. It just took a while. So that is something that I would say be ready for, especially if you've taken a break from academic work. Of course, I studied for the GRE, and I would read books for fun, but it wasn't honed in as much on historical works as I had done in my undergrad career. So that is something that I definitely encountered, but eventually I adapted to the course load. So that was what occurred for me in the first semester. I had 3 courses, which doesn't sound like a lot. It sounds like a light load, but you have to factor in that each course has their own particular formats and what the professors require. Each professor teaches differently, so these are all things that I would say add into the equation. And when you're there in the moment completing these courses, you'll see like, oh yes, like 3 courses in the degree level that I'm in, I definitely have to be on my A game in order to do well, which I think, especially since I worked, I think I did a pretty decent job. So it's just all about contacting your professor when you need help. Please, another point I would say, please feel free to, or don't be hesitant to contact your professors when you're really not understanding things, because when you don't, that's when you're more susceptible to failure, I'd say. And it could be scary sometimes, but wouldn't you rather understand than not, you know? So that's one pointer, again, that I would give. And I think that as long as you're trying to stay on track with things and be in the know as to what assignments are coming up, how much time you have, because you might be having other things going on with your life, you should do well. Time management really is a huge thing to learn how to be experienced with or practice when you're in a master's program. And that might seem like a very cliche thing to say, but being a Division I athlete in the past, I still feel like this master's program was, you know, it's different. They're all different and challenging their own way. So it was a new challenge for me that I think that I did well with, and I'm sure that you guys can too, as long as you can contact your professors when you need help and stay in tune and in the know with what's expected. Now, I'm not going to act like there weren't times where some of my professors just threw in assignments that were not known about. Sometimes things happen. You have to adjust, you have to be flexible, and I understand that. But then be wary that some professors will just kind of give you things on the fly, that's probably going to happen in other levels as well of education, you know. I think I've experienced it a lot more in my master's degree though. So in the spring I had 2 courses, and those, you know, again, you might say like, oh, that's only 2. You have to factor in everything that you have to do with that. There's the material culture class, and then there was a research seminar, both very integral to becoming a better historian, and just trying to do your best to improve every class session and every assignment. I had always thought like, oh, I was a really, really good writer in the past, and there's, you know, always something to improve on, but seeing my papers this semester, I was like, wow, yes, I definitely need to be more vigilant when it comes to making sure like there's not a lot of mistakes in there, and your grammar is correct, and that the flow of your paper and the chronology is correct. That is very important. It's always going to be important. You can always improve. You're never, to me, I think there's something that you can always improve in. Doesn't matter if you're a master's student or a PhD student or whatever level. Everyone can improve in some way, shape, or form. So that was my spring semester. Definitely, I think it was like a shorter semester in terms of the past semesters that I've had. But it was challenging, so that's something that I will always, you know, be proud of, is that I took that on and I did the best that I could with that, and I was satisfied with the outcome, with all the challenges that I had to go through this semester. You know, at the end I said I did the best that I could, and as long as you guys do the best that you can, and again with the pointers that I've given, just try to you know, stay cognizant of what needs to be done. You should do well in your relative degree program, your respective degree program. Just do the best that you can, which, you know, also cliche, but there's a reason why cliches exist, I will say. So what I'm going to be working on now is just continuing my thesis, my research on my thesis, which is about Black World War I soldiers. And my first segment of that was actually this past spring semester, which I focused in on the post-war years. I hope that this upcoming semester and in the summer that I can work on that segment of my thesis. And I have a couple people to reach out to professionally. There's a couple things that I need to do in that regard, and I do look forward to it. It's always a little bit scary and it makes me a little anxious, but I know that as long as I can map out what I need to do and just strategize how I'm going to do it, the best you can do is do that and go about it the best way that you can and see what happens. So I'm very excited. Ooh, there is a whole bunch of bugs out here, but I'm just going to end my video on that. And again, guys, if you'd like to see a video that concerns more of the in-depth details of my courses, or in more things that I would recommend for a public history student or a history student as well, because I think they can be tied in a lot of ways. Just let me know in the comments down below, and I hope that you guys are having a great summer so far. I know it's been really hard for everybody. Oh yeah, it stopped. The sound stopped. So I know it's been really hard. I'm outside right now, not really around anyone, so I don't have a mask on, but we're all going to get through this, and that's a mentality that I really, really, really want to practice and just keep, you know, throughout this summer, because it has been tough for a lot of people, and I do realize that. So thank you very much. If you were able to sit through this video, please like, subscribe, whatever your heart desires, and I'm gonna leave you guys on that note. Bye!